say I'm batshit crazy, but that's the masses for you. Can you blame the people? Most been trained to be feeble, tame sheeple by the evil who means to keep you cashless in the fastest society, where the vax and the mass are the blame for the dying spree. You the root race, they medieval. Eat the cheap food they feed you or read through these fools. Restorer or rebel, can't play God unless acquainted with the devil. Polarity you choose, acquainted with its level. Frequency, distance is an illusion, so please unveil the confusion. Look beyond the shadow of the late hollow years, see the far and distant lands where tomorrow appears. Put it in perspective, decision of each being the latest, most accurate vision of peace, where each one teach one to reach one, freeze one from under the trees and stump of the impeached one. Remember, all skin folk are not kinfolk. While I hold a sword in my left hand, I write a pen to pen quotes. Word to see Lord L, I'ma be more hell to these foreigners till they leave our air, land, and seashore and sell their asses right back across that agua. Screw y'all's dishonorable dogma. Something proper with no lube. The past 25 years I've been the son of solitude. The oil that fused my chakras is cruel. Love my people towards the evils. I'm heartless and rude. Firstborn of Inkle, the dawn of the twinkle. Twinkle little star, I got bright and I can think too. I blink through a wrinkle in time, rip that winkle and rhyme. And my shit stink too, can link you to source. Yes, you rather have AI sink you. I not only know the ledge, I'm on the brink too. They want to extinct you, your essence is viable. Crimes against humanity, the oppressors liable. They try to write on my recital, yet my presence vital as the session's title. Welcome to the seventh cycle. The heart of man is as the sun, the reception order for the divine ray of spiritual intuition descended unto man. The brain of man is as the moon, the source of human intellect. The body of man is the earthly vehicle. Let the sun impregnate the moon, or let the spiritual fire prompt the human intellect. And let the result fructify in the womb of a purified body. And you will develop the son of the sun, the quintessence, the stone of the wise, true wisdom, and perfect happiness. I teach you up. The human heart cries out for help. The human soul implores us for deliverance. But we do not hear their cries, for we neither hear nor understand. But the man who hears and understands we call crazy and flee from him. Just a call to my ancestors. Rid the land of damn settlers. Turn our signs to hand gestures. Whether we feeling the man's pressure. Some store each clan better. Planting the devil to stand the weather. It's a must we band together. Put that on Abraham and Esther. From Castilians to conquistadors. Iberians, traitorous Moors. Didn't arrive as friends to us, whether as slavers, invaders, or disguised traders. Missionaries, Islamic Christians with dictionaries. No mutual goal to coexist. Those warships in our tributaries. Military tactics to test shores. Foreigners have no respect for. Treaties and oath, I expect more from those who want to conquest except war. They didn't bring women during the invasions. The minds will rape, miscegenations, the spread of mis and disinformation, which manufactured the miseducation of the soul. Carter G. Washington, Robert Taylor Holmes, Marcy and Brooklyn, projects and hoods, while we were pushed in Cali to Florida. Hardly cushion. It's like the terrorists, never ending shipment of American Indians from Belize to the Caribbean. Gives I shot the sheriff meeting. Shut my field can be read, no book. Flows in my veins were prepared with no hook. Behind the back pass with flair, no look. This beef is rare, get fed, no cook. We're peaceful people, they call us animals. Truth of the matter, they were cannibals. Practice unclean religious rites. Evidence tangible, check the annals. I bring heat, this beast flammable. Feel free to critique this canonical. If your brain's deeply maniacal, release or get treated damnable. Used to be Hannibal, I talk black hole. Fighting the line now, the cheese back with both this big muscle drip up to tussle with Uncle Sam, Big Brother, and his clique. I put that on Abraham and Esther. It's a must, we band together. Blend in the devil to stand the weather. Sound strong, each clan better. Whether we feeling the man's pressure. Turn our signs to hand gestures. Rid the land of damn settlers. This is a call to my ancestors.
Good boy.
Based on real life. It's nothing like the old school. High vibrations is what it feels like. It's nothing like the old school. This goes way back. Before I was knee deep out in them streets, ganging it. Like prison and that old crazy mess. This is what really makes me me, y'all, at its core. So check it out. I arrived in 1970, August 14th, to be precise, eldest son, firstborn of 5, alive as the Christ. Had sunny days, just like I had spooky nights, which accounts for my old lows, had my newly heights. Childhood, not of the norm, excellence how I perform. Deep down, I was mad, that's why now I bring the storm. Memorize Psalms and other passages of scriptures after learning the Quran to fend off the jin's whispers. It was like my mother and father tried to hide us from the Pontius Pilates, King Herods, and other outsiders. No celebrating holidays, kept away from ungodly ways of playing games, calling names the cost of what folly pays. I'm saying you wouldn't believe such discipline, wishing to make friends with the neighborhood children. But it was like wish again from early on was taught I was different, not better, just gifted. There's a big difference. Had telescopes, microscopes, chemistry sets, books, maps, paints, carpentry tools, wrote poems not yet known as raps. Learned alphabets and mathematics from my mama. Learned meditation and martial arts from my father. Watched my uncles create music, so I beat drums, played keyboards with my dad, the guitar he strummed. Didn't consume pork nor beef. I would eat plums, not knowing this was part of who I would become. True story. This is based on real life. It's before all the jail feel nice. The genius within me, the angel of light. High vibrations, what it feels like. True story. This is based on real life. This before all the jail feel nice. The genius within me, the angel of life. High vibrations, now around it feels like 1982 was no longer separated from the outside world off the porch. Yeah, I made it. First noticed her standing in my b-boy stance. Leapt at the chance and began to break dance on wooden floors. I got sore from the workout. It was me, Chili T, my man Shabazz, Muhammad, and Phil G. When I met her on 93rd, next Jeffrey Manor, master of all crews, was written on my banner. The manner of my approach, yo, I rocked her. World with backspins, atomic flares, and helicopters, hella proper. Guys that were awesome, tried to get fresh up at Basma and on commercial. Attempted to test a bus moves on linoleum. Loved her on cardboard, roughed it off on concrete with combinations I had stored. Poured my heart into her around the time I met Dula, Yusef, Rashid, Stony Island Park, CVS, school, the battleground, found passion. Another element turned my heart into graffiti, evidence of being present. Taggers united together, network of writers who most times put all-nighters. True riders, 1987, we were kings of the line. Won the epic war with Sash on the damn run. My guys, Dickie, Tron, Advance, Plain Sound, and Vanish. I do this for you and the true TUT clan is the bandits. True story, based on real life. This before all the jail feel nice. The genius within me, the angel of light. High vibrations, that's what it feels like. True story, based on real life. This before all the jail feel nice. The genius within me, the angel of life. High vibrations is what it feels like. Let's clear this up. I am the great matriarchs, give to America, rare, uncut, sun complected, yet deemed wretched of the earth. Though my old blood's majestic, shall accept the most rejected. Nevertheless, check the record of my birth. Never read a book for knowledge of myself. The silence I felt, not from wildness of wealth, but from rawness of my breath. I received meditatively. My mother and father educated me. I often faith creatively. I've walked through a few schools of thought that truth is art and has no cause, yet the cause of everything. Falsehood is not, yet the manifest of right. What's in darkness comes to light. These words Timothy didn't write, that didn't quite sit well with a gang of y'all. When it comes to fiction, hell, truth is stranger, y'all. I came to y'all to bring the fault of a government that's been de facto and the enemy of so-called black folks. I mixed with being realistic and admit how's it we've allowed this shit from go defiant now cryptic. Y'all complicit in spirit with the metaphors. Metaphysics also makes me America's curse. I'm not in competition with men or women. I'm defending my household from those who are pretending. Gogged and skinned the same as us, taking up the same name as us, who attempt to claim the same rank as us. Y'all to be satisfied with societies like Westworld, where Bernard's really Arnold. Dolores is your best girl. Universal soldier, our robot is now the task force. The vast passport is on crash course. With or without y'all, I'ma own my role and bring fire upon them. That's on my soul. Y'all waiting for the Galactic Federation to come save y'all. Another United Nations site up to further enslave y'all.
This primordial realm, I'll tell you what, she has some younger children in a nutshell. One by Marduk, which is known as Marduk in one mythology, which is known as Amun Ra in another mythology, which is known as Yahweh in another mythology, which is known as Zeus in another mythology. She had these younger gods. It went to war with her and one of her consorts called Kingu, which was one of her earlier sons and her consorts. She went to war with them, and they went to war with Tiamat, and these primordial gods, this primordial god was defeated by her son, Marduk. Zeus, Amun Ra, or Yahweh, or any of the male deities. So that male deity destroyed the mother principle.
Yeah, what's going on, beloveds? Just want to let the numbers grow. You heard that for yourself. And ToLU'S, he put it together very well. I figured I would kick off with that. Any donations, I'll let y'all know to this evening or tomorrow. I'll send the appreciation. Unless it comes in, I didn't turn the notifications off. So anywho, as you see the title, I said you should really listen. And the only reason why I find it really important. You all know I think when I talk, at least I attempt to. You see that, right? They call it many different names all throughout, whether it's from South America, Italy, to Brahmana, and Germany, which was the Habu, or I believe that's how it's pronounced. It's the Hannibal. Now, I find it very important because y'all, there's a lot of people who are asking me things, right? And I always say, I don't have all the answers. I express to people, and see, this is where we get back into the religious dichotomy of things. Let me pull this up. It's here. The religious context of things. I'm not a religious person. Advice of information I would give you is for you not to be either. Yet, if you are, use it and let it be aspired to the best of your intellect. I don't want to beat up on a lot of different people. Yet we're importing a lot of things from China, and the sad thing is, just like those who think they're Jews who run around, they have been. You got to excuse me. I'm looking for something as I talk. They have been groomed to believe they are what they're not, and in doing so, given a false doctrine, which you see the hate. Now, most people aren't aware of why the hate even exists, and I will express this to you. The hate exists, and that's what they don't let go away when they inoculate the children, is because it helps them, I'll mention them in a minute, to keep up this fighting, this destruction. Now, why am I saying this? A lot of you are still stuck, and I see it all the time. We're the original Indians, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so what? So what? If the world, some billions of people aren't aware of this truth, right? What good does it do? Because they are here too. They exist here too. See, I am not a person that's kumbaya, my Lord, even though most people don't even know the origin of that song. For some reason, it was paramount and more important to divide us from our truth. All right. That is what we need to be uplifting, our truth. We have no problem believing in UFOs. I'm not saying if you want to call it that. Like I said, look into it. There's many different names, even by our ancestors. We're the serpent people. Yet most people have a hard time accepting the fact that in the Sheila and the She, South America, they were called a chariot instead of chariots, dragons. All right. Dragon-like vehicles taken up. We want to talk about Jericho being able to stop the sun. What's the name? To be able to stop the sun. That's based upon the frequency and the vibration. Isn't it true that if you take a woofer and you get a piece of plain glass and you put sand or a brick on it and you boom, 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 what will happen to that brick? It'll start riding on it, creating a vortex, right? A lot of people have a hard time accepting that pi is this equivalent balance when we think, 1.14 or 7, whatever it is, pi is, right? I don't do all that no more. I don't have no need for it. I make things simplistic. And people have a hard time understanding the perfection of what pi means. All right. And the circumference of who we are. You know what the spiral is? You know the importance of why it exists? Because it is not what it's been alluded to. This circle of life, meaning live and die. That has nothing to do with it. It is our energy. You dig what I'm saying? Our energy. And most people believe they know when everything that they're speaking that they know is based on a belief. And some of you would say again, well, you must believe in what you say. I don't have to believe. When you know, you know. Those fractal moments based on fractures of how science and everything else, and the stuff that they have taught you in school based on error, like I stated yesterday, if it comes to intelligent, being the most intelligent, perfected creatures, who are being poisoned, deliberately poisoned and murdered physically, okay? Because you can't regenerate. You don't know the frequencies to heal self. You don't want to come together as a collective, all right? So there are those of us who have to be alone to ascertain these things, not in their perfection, because in totality, we need the unification in those who are willing to listen, but with the sick thing of people thinking they know, which is still based upon belief. How can you come together when every time you get information, y'all run with it, not even knowing what the heck you're talking about, because you will not allow time to take its place, whether slow or fast. All right? You will not be patient in the efforts. I have people who are doing wonderful things, but they come over here and what do? They get sidelined because I speak against things. But I speak against things because I know something. Not everything is meant to be put out there. It's not a secret because most people can't accept nor deal with a lot of information out there. Otherwise, you wouldn't have an artificial intelligence, which is not new. It is not new, people. Right now, the people in position of power, if you want to call it that, they're the most perverse of all narratives. And every time the perversions get into this form of power, it's destructive. If I was traveling here from another port through a dimension, because you know what CERN is, and they have several of them, when they, on the most biggest machine, bring those two atoms to split, what they create is a micro black hole. What they're attempting to do is to keep it open, but for what? This is not old. We can travel from here to here, the long route. What they want is to go from here to there, like that. That is what they're attempting to do without it collapsing on itself so nobody gets caught up and destroyed. And y'all don't get why. They destroyed the old stuff we utilize. Ergo, the reason why. Oh, do I got to pull all these books out? Yeah, I'd rather show you because sometimes a lot of people need to be shown, if you dig what I'm saying. Ergo, the reason why I've read these books. This one, these three times, except for the fourth book, and I'm about to read this again. Because it's hard to accept something when a very short time ago in the 60s, they inoculated you with a system. Everything is based upon a system out of a corporation. Who are the corporate entities? Those who permit and allow themselves to exist a little longer without you seeing them, to have the better of the so-called substance or not, who use frequency rejuvenation chambers, and they want you to believe that bodies were buried there. When it's already been proven, if you decide to go and look, that most of those little chambers with water and everything was for healing factors to create energy, like under the places they call churches. No, it was natural, with water running underneath in caverns under all these fake churches. Okay, that holes and healing centers for burning and organs for healing, to pull upon that energy for you to rejuvenate without being put in the chamber or box, to live longer or take your body and transfer your state of mind, your consciousness to another, not with perfection. That's why they created Pet Cemetery, and then to bring that body back and hopefully you re-enter it or something else. There are things who want to destroy you, yet there are things that want to save you, but you have to make the choice. There are things on this earth walking around looking like you and I, who want you to wake up. All the woke movements and all that stuff is created by the enemy to subjugate and divert, because once you put it in there, then the narrative painted before you makes you believe you're woke, because you see all these things called the woke movement, but he's talking about black and out of Africa. There's nothing woke about that channel. You have people pushing the narrative of being or indigenous, now using the word autochthonous when the majority of people around me never utilized, and I was like, well, that's the word I use. And y'all say, and then your other script, because it's divisive and enemy-like, well, you must have read it somewhere. Well, why don't you shut up because you don't know it and just accept it for what it is? It doesn't mean don't research the word and not know what it is, but don't worry about how you came by it and take it and utilize it. See, this is the crutch. This is what's so wrong. Now, I got many pale-skinned women. I'm talking some fine, 25 and 30, fine, built like sisters. I talk to them, they just love, and they be looking at me all drooly-eyed and everything. I don't want nothing to do with them. Maybe for you, I have no problem with that, though. Believe me now, if I was 20, 30 years my junior, I'd be running all through them, making some babies again, all kind of babies. That's not my purpose. I told you what I'm here for and why. You know, people get this crime script in their head because they lived in Chicago, Atlanta, all these different places where all these perversions are running around, and you can't acquiesce or access the truth of your true potential. Oh, these bastards got those vehicles. When I was expressing, and I hope some of you went and researched it, when I was expressing that our past, there's nothing new under the sun, I meant that. Our past, we had vehicles like that. We invented the friggin' blimp. You think it was the first time? The light bulb, air conditioner, refrigerant, the rotary, the helicopter, the two-stroke. Come on, people. All we did was acquiesce again. How can we let go so quick? Because of our love and compassion for everything. But they've been able to get into that by studying us for so long, digging up our ancestors. When I mentioned about Central Park, telling these knuckleheads in New York, your people were buried there. The Seneca people, the original people, not somebody that was in some Indian training school. I says, why is it you have a hard time researching this and going to them fake, or UN, they would just shut down, and to these fake ass magistrates and tell them, we're coming to take our land back. We don't care about your SWAT and your police, your African Eric Adams. We don't care about what y'all doing. We don't care about your system of lies. We're not your citizens. We're on our land because you just got all these misbehaving, bad betraying. You just can't free up. I'm looking at people every day. Thank Jesus, look, can you all my warrior prayers? Will you stop it for once? Will you take the time to actually give 2 F's about yourselves? Holding yourself hostage when there's nothing holding you, there's nothing, no chains around you, no ball and chain, no nothing. They're so caught up in attempting to hold me back, teaching and showing, and y'all sons of bitches who are jealous and zealous. I had 2 people unsubscribe, and I wish more of you some bastards would leave and not come back, because now I know how to look at it. So I know I took a screenshot of everybody that subscribed to me. So what I'm going to do later on is I'm going to go through all them screens. Yes, all thousands, almost 700, right? I'm gonna go through all of them, and I'm gonna see them two bastards who jump back in. I just want to see them again, and I'm gonna block you, son of a bitches. You can make another account if you want, and I'll know when you come in because I know the new faces, and I've been talking with people who said they subscribe, and I don't see them on here. So it's these punks, and there's some of you in here now. So this tongue, this frequency, is guarded against you. It doesn't matter what you are, because see, I walk in this. Later on, I'll be showing y'all how to make ginger, cucumber, and granny apple juice without juicing it for just the juice, but to mix it so you get the pulp and all the benefits of it. But anyway, rather than that, so I said Billy Carson, because somebody asked me as I stay in the beginning, not to get off point. I says, look, I wouldn't waste my time reading his books because he went through all that. He went through those ex-military with the special operation guys, Army, OD. He went through those courses to be able to, you know what I mean, view and his demeanor, because he's in the millionaires now, because he's writes all the stuff. This book right here, you can read it. Some of you may have, there's an original one before this. All you have to do is check out all the cuneiform that's in South America, Ukraine, everywhere that cuneiform has been. And there's been one individual to actually, because all the documents were there. Because somebody asked me about him talking about this. I said, yeah, man, why don't you just take the time to research this stuff? I don't like talking about that because there's more pertinent things existing. And I understand the importance of that stuff. But how can you pull that up when war is in your freaking backyard? You are nowhere near ready for it. None of you. And I'm not giving it energy. They have so many bad frequencies out here. I was grounding myself today outside, and I was going through my then I said, then I was getting that minute, and I was bringing it down. Then it became internalized to where it wasn't coming outside, and I could hear it loud and clear, and it overstepped the ringing. And then I says, "That's gotta be careful." And I says, not to change it up too much. I had to bring myself back. And then I went, I had to keep them the same without mixing them. And I started to see with my eyes open, they were dark. Everything was dark. With my eyes open. And I looked ahead. And it was nothing. And then there was everything. I looked through the clouds and I could see the sun as a black dot through the clouds. And that's when I said, okay. And I dug as deep as I can with my diaphragm, and I made it so loud I could feel myself ringing. And I mean, Rondo could tell you, when I went deeper this time, and I literally, and I mean, I found this whistle in there with the sound, and I realized it was my larynx, everything doing what it was supposed to. And I felt the sharp pain, and it went away. And I was like, oh. And I can't say nothing else, because then I'm giving too much. And I looked at the dirt in front of me where I make my, okay? And it looked like it was shaking. And I was like, well, in my head of ignorance, it must be an earthquake somewhere. See, you don't get it because you really don't want to. Why do I say every day you have choices? Why do I say you have a choice? You think everybody's supposed to go to war and fight and die? In the physical death? To create and keep the dysplasia going on? Is that where you're at? You want to be black? You want to be Negro? You want to be a sniper? You want to be this war thing? Then you damn sure don't want to live. I'm not talking about live as conceptualized by them. Beyond that. There's all kind of stories in these books. They did this to us. They did that. Blah, blah. How about the fact that we've always been fucking here? Regardless of how we got here. Regardless. Some of you saw that map. You saw the information I shared. This is stuff that I saw when I was in high school and middle school. None of you did, right? You know what it did to me? It allowed me to see things differently. Remembering the things I saw through that window on Willowdale, walking through the alleyway to the back, all lit up. And then my brother getting scared and I was putting a blanket over the head and him going to sleep like I couldn't even get it. And the moment I started mentioning I was getting beat anyway, I got beat. Fear is what's keeping y'all. And you're the keeper of fear. And I'm not swearing that upon you. I am saying this because I'm speaking the truth. You are the keepers of fear. You are the handiwork of their deeds. Prove to me you are not. Every time you lash out at someone or something, every time you judge and holding in mind, when I say somebody's gay, it's because that's what I believe, based on the fact of what I see. So the source of reference doesn't mean that I want to know. I don't care. So that way I don't give it energy. I think it's the complacency has allowed people to think and believe that they have a knowing when they have no understanding, but stand under something. That means you're not in control. Fear is what controls you. Prove to me fear doesn't control you. I don't care about what you're doing. I don't care what you think you know. Prove to me that fear does not control you. Right now, if y'all saw vehicles that is in your bloodline to know we have created before, okay? What would you do? Them getting off of it with weapons. You think they would? No, they're those if they want to destroy you, they destroy you. What makes you think people aren't? Why do you think they call it the Great American Experiment? But these I call them peckerwoods because that's a name they use. And these peckerwoods don't get it. They damn sure ain't white because they ain't nothing pure about them. You show me a pure so-called white person, and I'll be like, okay, I submit. Somebody probably in their ignorance, they go, well, show me a black. Oh, you drama-filled. Be quiet and learn something for once in your miserable lives of your live existence and become our brothers like you're supposed to. And sisters. You just don't get it, do y'all? Small little number controlling over damn near 7-point-something billion people. Like, make it make sense. Everybody, all these fake governments talking about is war, and you don't even know the true side because you won't even look beyond it. Russia's been attempting to make peace with everybody. You think Ukraine created the war with them, with the Russians that was over there, you monkeys? He didn't invade because he wanted to, because this country want to go over there and get resources and everything else, and they want to dig up stuff. And then Russia is not having it. China's over here because there's a conditioning goes on, because sadly their leaders are with the same ploy of destruction, and the people aren't aware. And you saw some of the videos I shared, right? While people running around with panties talking about saucy Sam Montana, all these idiots, Flame Monroe, I have more respect for that one, right? But still, all right, they think it's not normal because they feel that way. The majority of people I've talked to, they were molested by their own peoples, especially people who are on drugs, heavy drugs. To when before that in the 20s and 40s, you didn't have that going on. You have these people talking about black and brown. Nigga, we brown. What's wrong with you? No hate towards my Spanish brothers, man. I would fight for many of them and die with them, right beside them and for them. But the ignorance of the damn correction or the police system was to pervert people. And you would think that they would be woke and actually wake up, and a handful do. But the majority stay placid and flaccid, and that means limp, and they're standing. in their corruption. And the women are no different. They're supposed to be the emotional stable part of us, and we're supposed to keep it contained. Y'all don't get it, why the separation was important. So you have these dumb nigresses, these dykes who walk around with cucumbers in their pants, these idiots. The chemical lobotomy works on them too. And thank goodness there's brothers who are stepping up and crushing their little mentality. And then you have these knucklehead brothers running around. I can't even say brothers. Cards pulled. Anyway, running around, no hate, until you access it again, believing what they're dealing with is good when the body is a thing full of nerves and all kind of different pleasures. Do you think man alone is doing all this? When there's other people out there, other things? Yes, people, regardless of what, say they was a lizard or a dragon or whatever. Just imagine, okay, this is hypothetically. There are people in their own state, as far as the narrative of the language and the word. And you can learn, you can go and study what the word people is in different languages if you need to. And then take all those, put them together, and then maybe you'll have a puzzle. And you'll be able to see and figure out something. I'm not going to tell you everything. Happiness, joy, hate, envy, jealousy. You know, next door is the big house owned by the Josephs. An air of disrespect, depleted mentality, thinking one knows everything. Those are symptoms. But what are they symptoms from? Because of truth of love is not reincorporated but reconnected to based on order. Remember what I was reading about how they're destroying order? Would you have those symptoms? Anybody that thinks you would have those symptoms if you was truly back, allowing yourself to seek and walk in order in the truth of love without painting a narrative for it? Do you think any of those symptoms, and there's many more? We're not here to call everyone, like when you're hanging the clothes, you got to make sure you put 6 because the wind's blowing on the sheets and the bed sheets and the, you know, no, none of that. Don't have to be worried about it being wrinkled up coming out the dryer and putting chemicals called fabric softeners with those dyes that are toxic. No, we create symptoms. We allow the symptoms because we refuse to step into order. And we always think we know everything because we're dealing and conversing on all the symptoms. Like everything I'm addressing is a symptom. Knowing about the Bwanas, whatever you want to call them, Vimanas, whatever, ships, UFOs, right? That's a symptom because you don't even know who you are. You're not even walking in your truth. How many of you are really grounding? And what I mean with purpose? This is not a challenge. How can I challenge something that's supposed to be natural? When they paved the streets, when they've done all the things, they put chemicals in the soil, they got people poisoning, worried about bugs. The most beautiful thing is watching these Spanish kids pick up tarantulas and everything else with their hands like it ain't nothing. That's an old way, without harming or hurting or tearing legs off and all the other dumb stuff to allow them to exist. These fake Japanese running around, no hate to my Japanese brothers and sisters, I'm talking about the ones out there killing the whales, the most important part of the ecosystem of the ocean. And now people are saying, well, we're really seeing mermaids. Maybe they're tired of you. When they were not bothered, and they've been unbothered for a long time, wondering when are we going to snap out of it. And then the rest of the planetary infusion of the earth, because you know these monkeys and their secret society who want to talk about Masons now, knowing good and well they're part of the perversion to keep you lost. Okay? Still want you to believe in some round earth, heliocentrically floating through the space and hundreds of thousands of miles with spinning and this, that, and the clusters of all these different universes when the universes you are in and in you. There are other lands out there, people, that don't need us to know about them, but it'd be beautiful to be able to travel and see them. But the enemy's got you so stuck with symptoms, you can't even relegate yourself to relieve yourself from it, like going to the bathroom. Imagine not having to go to the bathroom all the time where you have to wipe with the products they make. Order. Why am I always saying that when you read stuff, you must take the time to acquiesce what is important and what is not. There are many books I have that I just wouldn't read to you. No, I will one day, because there's very small portions in there that make sense. But you better believe every book out here plays a part. Okay, every book. All right, every book plays a part. You should know this. Every book. I ordered something because I wanted to see something. A friend of mine was like, get it read and see how it is. I'm not going to show it because it's for a rifle, but it's this, it's a red AR red laser and flashlight. And you know what's messed up about it? It's these greedy sons of bitches. It's designed in Texas, but it's made in China. You have to be careful of what you buy. So I got to go and buy another battery just to make sure it's okay, because all I got to do is send it back to Mansfield, Texas. That's why I say it's important. When you get stuff, you don't get discouraged. You take all the necessary steps and you return those things. And you make sure that they're very aware of it. Now, most people don't know how to do these things because there's not patience in them. And they believe time is always running out when you control time. Ergo, why I stated about vocalization and frequency, that this is not words. You're not, that's words. That's a made up narrative. Like what you hear me say, because you believe you understand this, because we have been conditioned to believe, word, made, believe, think, see. We have been made to believe this is what these things mean when these literally all spells. Okay? So time, as far as what the narrative says about time, we think we know that there's a point of it running out or begin. That's not what time does not mean that. Who created? I mean, think about it. I was reading to you Adventures. When you think about Big Ben, right? Ding, you know, we invented that. How many of y'all knew that London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down? London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady. Those are great cities we built on London Bridge, which there hardly is none of it left. Literally. They call them castles and all that kind of stuff. That's not what they were. What is the importance of water and a real mercury? It's a different name for it. You know that? Not the perversions. To create electricity and energy. But we run around with this religious dichotomy and everything else. And we have a hard time freeing ourselves because people keep reading and they're not really breaking things down as they should, so people can free themselves and walk in true harmony. Look how many people we had come in and they run off. I mean, because you know why? You're messing with their temporal. And it's that false temporal. You're messing with their made-up harmony, their fake existence. You're not going to disrupt that. You know, I know it's not steak. You know what I'm saying? And eats it anyway, and then start betraying and murdering their own. This is what we're dealing with. Avatars, robots, they're not new. Androids, subliminal messages. Nothing's new. We're just getting it again. But a lot of you seem stuck. Anyway, I just wanted to go ahead and I figured it was important for y'all to hear that. I'm going to go ahead and I got to run out and I'm going to come back. I'm going to read. I didn't read yesterday afternoon because there was a lot of things I was working on, a lot of things I was doing, a lot of things I was saying. If you donated, I appreciate it. I'll read it in here. And I'll, like I said before, when I come back to read, I'll give you, I'll pass grace upon you, appreciation. I can feel this. You dig what I'm saying? I don't think the majority of you feel it at all. because you feel like y'all feel like it has to be a need or something. Y'all, why? Mm-mm. Left up to your own vice. What is the old saying? Left up to your own vices. And if you don't know, look it up. Google it. Maybe y'all trust in that a little more. Use Brave or a couple other ones I've mentioned. But a lot of y'all left up to your own vices, man. And that's what hurts people, words. How could something hurt you when you really don't know? Getting back to them symptoms. Anyway, I'm shut y'all up. I appreciate y'all coming in, and I'm going to get out of here. All right. Rondo, at one point I know you be up in here, beloved. Old slot was great. I was jamming you up this morning with the window open. I saw people walking by like this. And Max B. It was like, I had it blurring, you know what I'm saying? Snoop, hey, love, what's up, baby? Tions, what's going on, beloved? What's cracking? Marcus Williams. Hey, Fear None, what's going on, beloved? What's cracking? What's cracking? Who else came up in here? The Berry Boy 18, what's cracking? What's going on, beloved? Benji Namsey, and what's up, beloved? Yes, of course, Max V, what's going on, beloved? Jay Shaw, grand to see you here, beloved. What's going on? Alicia and Cooper, what's going on, beloved? I am Baby Girl Slaughter. Hey, what's going on, beloved? Anyway, I appreciate y'all, beloved sisters, those goddesses, and to my gods, my brothers. There should be a need to walk together as one. See y'all here shortly.